Yeah, so but what it basically means, it's a small investment committee that looks at the progress of the portfolio. Are the teams making progress? Are our startup investments lead to something? So it's in this case the more senior management of a company, and not 10, but maybe 2, 3 to start with. And the most important thing is not so much the venture board, because we call it investment committee or steerco for innovation, or but at least a dedicated group of people that do not act as managers, but try to apply that lens of investors. So would I invest my own money in this initiative if I now look at the pitch deck or the investment deck of the team? And that puts things, let's say, it makes it more sharp. And at the same time, you need that innovation process and metrics to see, okay, is the team actually progressing? Is the revenue model, is that validated? Are we having a consistent growth rate of consumers? Do the consumers do they actually stick with us? So these metrics are important, and then you want these people to make the investment decisions. That's one. Mm-hmm. Protect the team, let's say, from influences in the company, because sometimes you probably also know that when you are working on new initiatives, people might become very curious, asking a lot of questions, and at the same time you lose momentum and speed, etc. So it's also protecting them, and also the resource allocation. So not only money, it's important, but when you are successful, you maybe need more people from R&D or supply chain, or you want to tap into the sales force that is already working, and that sometimes competes with core business programs. So you need to have the backup of the senior management to say, look, we all said innovation is important, so A means also B. That means that we need to make the resources allocate to also these types of initiatives. And therefore you need to have these people backing this up. So I think it depends on what type of innovation. That's the first part. So when it's more business model innovation, you need to have the senior management attention, because I want it on their agenda. If it's not on the agenda of the top management, you can. I doubt if people find it important in that sense. So that's a first important thing. Then the type of people is that if it's a product or an existing business, you invite the more senior people from the business, because we want their resources at one point, or they need to do something with the innovation. When it's more business model beyond the core business, it's more the senior leadership of the company, 2, 3, most of the time the CFO, the CAO. Not always the CEO, because it also depends on how does the group interact with each other. And if you have a very dominant CEO, and then other people don't say what they think anymore, it's maybe not a smart thing to do. So there are multiple components to look at. How do we make these investment decisions? In general, it should be the senior management, because they can make decisions, drive the initiative, and protect the team. But the most interesting part is that you help these people, more changing their mindset on what does it mean for me as a leader to guide this team through this journey. They need the right investments, but you also need to challenge the team from a business perspective. You need to protect the team. So it's also a little bit of a transformational journey, to be honest. I mean, that's the difficulty of doing this within an established organization, right? Is that maybe you're cannibalizing the existing business. The interesting perspective is that the market does not think in these types of issues, right? I mean, a founder wakes up at one point, look, I have a problem, nobody's solving it, I will try to do it myself. And if he has a good team and you find an investor, things can go fast, and you know that. So if we are not doing it ourselves, then somebody else will do it. I mean, that's also the reality of things. And we all know the classic examples, so we don't have to mention that.